Hello everyone! Thank you for joining us for another book review with
Zen Garcia
and Joy Garcia, your book holder. So today we actually have the bundle as the books of the month, and it's the Preadamites and Antediluvian World and the Dragon Lords and Antediluvian Kings, which I know you were working on really hard last summer, Zen. What would you like to mention about these two books that made you want to focus on them this month?
Well, last year we were doing the End Time Mysteries Revealed conference, the Sacred Word Revealed. And in my opinion, in order to understand Revelation, you have to understand what happened in the garden. And even further back than that, what happened with the war in heaven and the First World Age. And this is a concept which, when you are able to comprehend it, it unites together the scientific world with the biblical, with the mythological, with the conspiratorial. It brings truth to all those worlds and gives you the puzzle of truth in a manner that most people never contemplated. And so it helps you to make sense of everything. And so I wanted to, in that time, try to finish a book on the Antediluvian world and the Preadamites, and I had so much information that it ended up being two very thick volumes, well over 700 pages of research. And so, and fortunately I was able to finish one and then the other shortly thereafter, and we have them now both available to you, and are providing them as a bundle for a discounted set. But specifically what is covered throughout these manuscripts, throughout these books, are the destruction of the First World Age, how it is connected to the story of the Anunnaki in the Sumerian traditions, and how the earth, when it was initially created, it was created perfect. It says that thy work was a perfect work. Thy creation was a perfect work in the scriptures. And so people don't understand that concept. And then when they get to Genesis 1:2, they see that the earth was without form and void. Translating that into the Hebrew, it says that the earth became, the primeval earth became a deserted wasteland and an indistinguishable ruin. And those two words imply that something occurred. And for those that have been interested in studying the fallen angels and what happened with the rebellion of the 1/3 of the angels that followed Lucifer, well, that was part of the ancient past that led to the war in heaven, that led to the destruction. And so that is all covered in both of these books. I'll just read a couple of the chapter title headings. Thy creation was a perfect work, and the primeval earth was waste and ruin. The angelic rebellion, war in heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars and the clouds of God, till iniquity was found in thee. And then I go into the stories of the ancient origins and the stories carried by the native peoples, the story of Turtle Island, the separation of light and darkness, the prior times according to the Sumerians, the 7,000-year timeline of duality, because we are now in the Second World Age that is only tasked in duration to last 7,000 years. We have 6,000 years and then a millennial reign. That's 120 jubilees of 50 years. And so in my opinion, we're somewhere near the end of that 6,000-year duration, and then we have the millennial reign. Then we go into the reign of the Dragon Lords, which are those Anunnaki, the Sumerian, the seraphim angels that were cast out of the heavens and that sired Cain. We see that it was the feathered serpent in Genesis chapter 3 that birthed Cain, and that he was of the wicked one. Then I bring forth Plato's dialogues, go into the Preadamites. And then in the second book on the Dragon Lords, speak about how in the emerald tablets of Thoth. They talk about how they were able to bring forth these dark entities by doing blood ritual and offering the blood in sacrifice, and that the elites were then taken over in possession by these ancient deities, these entities. They became coupled with them, and they are known now as Legion. Then we go into the adrenochrome, the dragon lords, the flying fiery serpents, the great dragon mentioned within scripture, and how all these things are tied to the biblical concept of Satan, that ancient dragon, that old serpent who deceiveth the whole world, as it says in Revelation 12, that he was a feathered serpent. And then we get to the part where they, being cast out, they establish their reign here. And we see, according to the Sumerian Kings list, that they were here for a very long time, and before we were, as far as the Preadamites, and then also modern humanity in the last 6,000 years of history. Then we cover the Preadamic earth, multiply, replenish the earth. That was the Preadamites created here on the earth, told to be fruitful, multiply, go forth, and to establish generations. In chapter 24, I revisit Genesis in the Colburn Bible, because it is a lot more extensive and covers the First World Age, which is mostly left out of the King James Version of the Bible. And so revisiting that story, I'm able to help you to better understand the scriptures, and as I explain it within this work. And then I have, in finality, the story of the golden fleece, and how in the Thracian Chronicles, it brings forth the story, the legacy of Orpheus, how he was a priest king. He was a son of Japheth, of Noah's line, and he was led by the word of the Lord to recover what is the golden fleece. And the golden fleece is the scriptures that are the words and the prophecies of the Most High God, and that were buried during the antediluvian times, before the flood of Noah, by the children of Noah, and that were recovered when he was led to rediscover them. And so it shows that there was, in fact, an antediluvian age, and that the knowledge, the legacy, our heritage of scripture preceded that flood, and actually comes from the Noahic families and the line of what is in scripture cited as, Adam and Seth, and all the way down to what was through Enoch and Lamech and Methuselah, and all the way to Noah. So lots of information, lots to cover, but I think if you read these, they'll bless you, and you'll understand the world in a way that you maybe not had opportunity to consider.
And so much information in 14-point font, so it's easy to read. But also this month we will have the promo code ANTE10, spelled ANTE and then 10. You can use as a promo code on the website from the link that we'll add to the description below, and that'll get you $10 off the bundle between these two books. So that is the book review for the month. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and your love and support for our family. We're so grateful, and we will see you next time. Shalom and blessings.
Shalom. Be
Bye.
blessed.